Right, I think this is part 4. In part 3, I was doing a lot of the chassis strip down. Well, I have continued that, and as you can see, we're down to pretty much a blank chassis. The only thing that is remaining still installed is the standoffs for the board, which, considering they are somewhat bent, I think it's probably best that we leave them in. They're not going to get in the way of what I want to do. I've had a good chat with the customer about what we should do whilst it's all apart. The original valve sockets, they're not in great condition, and we would be quite silly not to consider replacing them whilst we've got the whole thing apart. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to stick a new set of valves in, valve sockets in the chassis. The choke has come off and tests good, but I think whilst I've got this off, I'm going to quickly send it off for analysis, just to make sure that it's all good, because the last thing I would want is to reassemble it and there to actually be a problem. You know, I can bench test this only so much here in the shop, send it down to Demeter, they can properly stress test it and make sure it's all good. The output transformer has arrived from Thermionic Lab, and it is one hell of a unit. This thing is really, really impressive. All the right wire colours, the right stacking. I've measured it on the bench. It's bang on 3K4, exactly where it should be. Yes, we've got the other one coming from Demeter, the clone of my Canadian Drake, and they're going to add a 16 ohm tap on there. But this was donated free of charge by Thermionic Lab, and I think this is the one to go for. We could AB with the Demeter one, and I'm pretty sure that you'll be splitting hairs to find the difference between them. The quality of this unit is just exceptional. So I think that's what we're going to go for. The mains transformer obviously arrived from Modulus a couple of weeks ago, actually over a month ago now. That's here, that's a beefy unit, you know, an exact replica of the original to the correct specs. But what he's done, he's wound it as just a single 240 volt primary. It's got the frame so we can mount this thing properly inside the chassis, so it's going to look original. That's key. So this chassis is now, as you can see, pretty much all stripped down, all done. I'm going to give it a bit of a clean up. There are a lot of sharp holes and deburring that needs to be done, so I'm going to go through, make sure it's all good, and then I can start the rebuild process. The only other thing that I'm having to consider is the main socket. You can see it's been hacked out quite poorly, which is a shame. We're not going to stick a bulb in. We are going to do the bulb in replacement, but the one that we saw on the orange Super Base, you know, the round socket, it's actually a 3D printed one, which Kel Dampworks up in Newark actually 3D prints himself. He's kindly agreed to supply me those, because I actually think that's a much better solution to the bulb-in replacement problem than the one that Tad does. The one that Tad does is good, but you do have to ever so slightly enlarge the hole, just deburr it, and we're talking thousandths of an inch here just to get it to go in. Whereas the other one just clamps over the original hole. There's no risk of there being any open holes or anything like that. And I think it's a much neater, well-refined solution to the problem. So that's what we're going to do. But yeah, look how naked the rich bitch is. Front panel is off, hanging up on the wall up there. The rear panel is glued on, so that we're not going to take that off. There's no need for that to come off, but there's so many sharp edges and things where this has been hacked before, so we'll just go around and just clean all the holes up. Take our time with it. We've got the deburring tool. We've got our little chamfer tool as well, internal chamfer, and just go through, make sure this is all good. and then I can start adding things back in. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll get the time lapse going just like any other build. We go grommets, we've got the standoffs already, we go valve sockets, transformers, can caps. Speaking of which, the can caps, I should say, we're going for the JJs this time. I do like the JJ can caps. We've got a 50 plus 50, a 50 plus 50 there, and the other one is a 50 plus 50, but we are only going to use one of those for the reservoir stage. So that's what we're going to go with in there. It's a nice solution. They are wonderful caps, and they don't carry the horrendous price tag that the Mundorfs do now. So shall we get cleaning, get tidying, and get cracking? Right, you would have seen in that time lapse that progress is going pretty well, apart from the output transformer. the mounting holes just don't quite line up. So I don't really know what to do other than replace the end bells and the mounts, which I don't really want to do. So if I get one of the Demeter ones, they do line up. But this isn't the correct spec for this amp. Yeah, their end bells don't quite fit. Now, normally that wouldn't be an issue because you drill the chassis to fit, right? That's what you do. That's how you'd fix it. But I'm in two minds about whether I actually want to do that on this, because the holes are close enough where I couldn't drill new ones without interfering with the originals, and I can't enlarge these ones enough to get the clearance I need. So I actually think on this occasion we're going to have to say no-go on the Thermionic Lab on this amplifier, to be honest with you. What else can we do? See, even if yeah, it just doesn't. So in this direction, we've got, if I zero that, centre to centre spacing of about 60.4, 60.5 millimeters. And in this direction, so 60.5 by 64, 63.5 maybe. Whereas this is do it that way, couldn't I? 65.5 that way by 57 that way. Hold on. Yeah, so it's way off. So I can't use it without massively modifying the chassis, which I really don't want to do. Or we wait for the Demeter one to come in. I think that's what we'll have to do. I'll talk to the customer, see what he wants to do. I think his preference might be the Demeter, the replica of the original Drake, or my Canadian Drake. And then I can at least use this in a new build, because I want to build myself a black flag. That's what I'm thinking of doing. I've got all these black flags in. I want to do a GZ34 black flag, and that would be the transformer for it, I think. Or alternatively, I put that on the train wreck build and double the impedance. We'll have to have a think, but that is somewhat of a roadblock. I'm going to talk to the customer and come back to you. Right, I have spoken to the customer. We've decided to wait for the Drake clone from Demeter to turn up, and we're going to go for that. And I'm going to use the white one in another project. So that's good news. We're going to do that. So it does kind of put me back a little bit, delays things, because I was hoping to get cracked on with the rest of the build. But at least we're starting to populate stuff. That's good news. So I'm going to get the we're going to leave this episode here because in the next one, I'm going to start modifying the board.